Time to change the oil in a 2016 Golf GTI. I'm How To Bob, and we're going to get started by putting the car up on some ramps. Just the front, because this car is so low, it'd make it a whole lot easier to get down to. I'll take the fill cap off and set it off to the side, and then we'll go underneath the car and take a look. Now the oil drain plug is located right here. You can see it's got a slot in it to remove. And I purchased a new cap, and it came with a tool. It's not a bad idea to replace the cap each time, so I'm going to take some new clean oil and wipe it around the O-ring on the new drain plug. And then with my tool, I can remove the old drain plug. If you don't have a tool, a flathead screwdriver will work just fine. Simply unscrews. We'll let all the oil drain out. Having the car jacked up will actually help that because it drains towards the rear of the car. So we've got all the oil drained out. I'll put my new oil drain plug back in and just tighten it down. It'll hit a stop when it's as tight as it goes. Doesn't matter which way it goes in. And there we have the drain plug in. Wipe the area down, get all the old oil off of the oil pan. Then I can remove the engine cover that just pulls straight up and off. And I'm going to use a 32mm socket to remove the oil filter cap. And once I get that loosened up, I'm going to just remove it just slightly and let all the oil, the suction that's created in there, let the oil drain once the suction's released. And I'll let that drain for a little bit. Might be a little bit of oil left up in there, and looks like it's mostly out. Now, I've run the vehicle for a while, so the oil is hot. Everything came out down at the bottom. So I can take my oil filter and just pull it out of the cap and set that off to the side. I've got my new filter, and it comes with an O-ring, so I want to remove the old O-ring from my oil filter housing or oil filter cap and slide the new one over and put it on. Make sure it sits in the slot and get some of the new oil and go around the O-ring with the new oil. And then I can take my oil filter and slide it down until it snaps into place, and make sure I line up my oil filter threads, and I'll tighten it down hand tight. Once I get it hand tight, I'll use my torque wrench, and on the top of the cap it tells me how much to tighten my oil filter housing, and I'll use the torque wrench, tighten it down. The recommended oil capacity for the 2016 2.0 liter turbo is 6 quarts. So when I get close to 6 quarts, I'm going to stop and check my oil level. So I'll pull the dipstick out and wipe that clean, reinsert the dipstick, wait a second, and pull it out. Take a reading. It looks pretty good. So I'll put my cap back on. Then I'll put my engine cover on, and there's 4 prongs here, 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 and there's one more. You can see the bottom of the engine cover. Those just line up, and when those get lined up, just press down on the engine cover and it snaps into place. Next, I'm going to start the vehicle up and let it idle for a little bit, and then I'll shut it off and check the oil once again once it's had time to go through the whole system and back up into the oil filter. Make sure my level is good. Stick the dipstick back down in and pull it back out, and let's take a look. and it looks good. So that's how you change the oil in a 2016 Golf GTI 2.0 liter turbo. I'm How To Bob. Thanks for watching.